Behnam Ben Taleblu is a research fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracy as he joins us this morning. And I want you to listen to what the president had to say in Georgia. He was at a rally there yesterday, and he talked specifically about Iran. Listen to the president here.
I withdrew the United States from the horrible, one-sided Iran nuclear deal. And Iran's been a much different country. Has Iran been a different country for the last 6 months? Is that incredible?
Behnam, this is maximum pressure. Is it working?
Well, in some ways, maximum pressure has already shown some green shoots here. Since May 8th, since the president withdrew from the nuclear deal, you've seen the Iranian rial continue to depreciate relative to the U.S. dollar, almost a million barrels of Iranian oil taken off the market, and no major oil price spike. So I think the pieces of the max pressure campaign are in place, but with all things sanctions related and coercion related, the trick is enforcement. So making sure that we translate economic to political power.
You brought
after
up oil. You were showing oil right now down 27 cents. So this really shows that the policy is working. This seems to be a win for the administration and the president. Now, another side of this, obviously, is the Chinese, because there are 8 countries that we are temporarily allowing to still work with the Iranians. Here's what the Chinese Foreign Ministry issued. Here's what they said in the statement that they issued. China and Iran carrying out normal cooperation under the framework of international law is lawful and reasonable and should be respected and protective. This is in the middle of some sensitive negotiations between the U.S. and China. What do you make of this statement?
Well, the Chinese are actually using the UN Security Council Resolution 2231. That's the one that enshrines the Iran nuclear deal from 2015 to hide and take cover for their continued business presence in Iran. However, for November, 2 major Chinese companies didn't list any major purchases of Iranian oil. I think they're doing that to signal interest in a U.S. waiver or exemption.
Right.
And negotiations were going on from Friday into the weekend.
It's not just oil, though. It's not just oil. It's also the banks. And I want to bring up this statement that we got from Senator Marco Rubio talking about SWIFT. He said more must be done to press the SWIFT financial messaging service to once again sever connections with the Central Bank of Iran and other sanctioned Iranian banks by a certain date. SWIFT, of course, a U.S. agency. What do you make of that?
It's very important, of course, but the challenge is, the SWIFT doesn't necessarily listen to U.S. law or even EU law. It took cover from the EU and the U.S. before when it disconnected Iranian banks in 2012. The pressure is on now. Secretary Mnuchin was quite clear SWIFT will be treated like any other entity. So if SWIFT provides these financial messaging services, they are susceptible to U.S. sanctions, and members of the board should know that, particularly the American ones.